Well, I've got the great pleasure of getting to introduce a real hero of mine and a real mentor of mine for an award. Fred Cloud has spent a lifetime working for equality, justice, and fairness. Dr. Cloud has been an educator in many capacities at institutions including Austin Peay State University, American Baptist College, Vanderbilt University Divinity School. And Dr. Cloud served as an associate to Dr. Warren N. Moore from 1967 to 1970 at the Metro Human Relations Commission. And then he was appointed as executive director of that in 1970, and he served for 20 years until he retired in April of 1990. During this time, he helped secure Tennessee's first fair employment law and fair housing law, and he made possible the affirmative action plan for Nashville. He was elected president of the National Association of Human Rights Agencies, a national organization, from 1971 until 1973. And he served as chair of the Tennessee Fair Housing Council Board of Directors since 1998. Dr. Cloud was honored with a Human Rights Advocate Award as part of Nashville's United Nations Human Rights Day in 2009, and he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Association of Official Human Rights Agencies, IORA, during its 2012 meeting. I present first a little video and then our honoree.
Is affordable housing for all our citizens. A nation as wealthy as America should not have anyone sleeping under bridges. A constructive step is the establishment of affordable housing trust funds. At the persistent urging of Reverend Bill Barnes, the longtime pastor of Edge Hill Methodist Church, Mayor Carl Dean announced the formation of an AHTF, Affordable Housing Trust Fund for Metro. Used right, that can provide a lot of affordable housing. Even after the passage of fair housing laws at local, state, and federal level, there is still discrimination on the basis of race, color, sexual orientation, and physical disability. For the past 15 years, Tracy McCartney has served effectively as executive director of the Tennessee Fair Housing Council. I've been privileged to serve as chair of that council in the years since retirement. Staff have trained the architects, builders, apartment managers, and realtors carefully, yet basic violations of law still pop up. A few years ago, a team of persons, including Tracy, made a survey of apartments and condos in East and Middle Tennessee. They found 21 structures not in compliance. A court case resulted in a $60,000 judgment, which was used to carry on still further training. Every victory is an incentive to stay on the case. I thank you for the opportunity to share a few insights with delegates, guests, and staff of the Tennessee State Human Rights Commission, and I wish you well as you carry on your work.
Fred, we present to you a plaque of recognition of your wonderful work for your lifetime of achievement in this area. Human rights activists, please applaud Fred Cloud.
It's my pleasure to introduce Inez Crutchfield. An untiring participant in civil and political organizations, Ms. Crutchfield distinguished herself as a committed, caring woman who works to make life better for others through community service. She received her bachelor's and master's degree from Tennessee State University, Later, she did postgraduate study at Ohio State University. While an assistant professor at Tennessee State University, she helped students participate in civil rights demonstrations in Nashville. Ms. Crutchfield is the first African American to hold an appointed and elected statewide position in the Tennessee State Federation of Democratic Women. She entered national politics as the first black woman representing Tennessee on the Democratic National Committee. Her civic contributions have been recognized with many awards and honors, including Woman of the Year, Outstanding Woman in Politics, the ATHENA Award in 1994, and the Academy of Women of Achievement. Ms. Crutchfield is truly amazing. Let's look at her video.
When the sit-in started, I was teaching there and working with the students. And so I more or less became involved, really involved at that time, more or less. And as a teacher, I was involved, but there were, I think, just about almost every teacher that TSU became involved with the students during that time. We were very, very sympathetic with them. The older people were not encouraged to do this. It was felt that they could not and they would not handle it very well. We did everything that we could to take care of them. I even at times met the buses and the trains, because once the parents became aware that their children had been arrested, they came to the school. They came from out of town or wherever they were. And I've said this many times, there's many a mother that has cried on my shoulder, and I've held her in my arms when she was telling me that she did not send her child to college to be arrested or to be in jail. And you try to explain to them what they're doing and that we're doing the best we can in taking care of them. That was, when you think about it now, it's unbelievable. And I worry about that because I worry about the fact that the youth today has no idea of what those young people went through in order that they could have what they have today.
Thank you, Ms. Inez.
A longtime philanthropist, Jeanne Varnell is and has been committed to making a difference in Memphis and beyond. Following the death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ms. Varnell joined a group of women called the Panel of American Women to address racial and religious prejudice. She also participated in the Concerned Women of Memphis and Shelby County, which was an organization that helped avert a second threatened sanitation workers strike in Memphis, only that time in June in 1969. Ms. Varnell, a trustee and secretary of the Hyde Foundation, was an active member of the National Civil Rights Museum for 15 years, in which the Hyde Foundation was heavily involved in the construction and the fruition of the museum. Ms. Varnell is a founding member of the Women's Foundation for Greater Memphis, and she was elected the first woman chair of the Board of Trustees of Lambeth University. Jeanne received the Legend Award from the Women's Foundation and a Lifetime Achievement Award from Memphis YWCA. Ms. Varnell and her husband, Henry, received the Crystal Award for Philanthropist of the Year and the Reverend Henry Logan Starks Humanitarian Award from the Memphis Theological Seminary. Let's watch a video about our friend Jeanne.
Well, first of all, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s death It literally turned my life upside down. I had always thought I was a good person, and I am, but it helped me to realize I needed to get off the fence and stand up. And that was one reason I joined the panel, because we found our voices in that way. So that has been crucial in my life. And another reason is that my family was a family that taught from the time I was little that it's very important to give back and to make a difference. And then I think the other is my faith. I think that the impact of the panel has been ongoing over all these many years, because people still will come up to me and other panelists and say, I remember when you spoke, and it really touched me and made me think about how I was feeling and what my prejudices were. So I think we did a lot of good. Back then, in '69 and forward, what we were doing was cutting edge. Today it might not seem like very much, but back then it was a very cutting edge thing. Ongoing legacies of the panel, which people forget, is what this meant to a lot of our children. It touched their lives deeply and caused them to live their lives as free of prejudice as possible, and to really see things with different eyes than maybe they had started out with. And I'm very pleased about that, because my children really surprised me in the way they grabbed on to what all of this meant about inclusiveness, diversity, everything.
We present to you this plaque in recognition and appreciation of your tireless work. Thank you, Jeanne, so much. Thank you for all you do.
And I'd like to introduce Ms. Yvonne Wood. Yvonne has been a lifelong advocate for women and equality for all people. Ms. Wood is a founding member of the current chair of the Tennessee Economic Council on Women, and she was instrumental in the creation of the council in 1998. She's also past president of ATHENA International and Cable, women's organization, both that are committed to creating opportunities and promoting equal opportunities for women. She also represents Tennessee as a delegate to Vision 2020, which is a national initiative to advocate gender equality by the year 2020. Ms. Wood has also written and contributed legislation making scholarships available to Tennessee's most talented students, and laws mandating a two-step pay increase to employees who successfully complete the CPS exam. Her lifelong work as an advocate for women has been recognized by the Tennessee General Assembly and the Nashville Metro Council. She's been honored for her many outstanding contributions in Tennessee and her service, which include the ATHENA Award in Nashville in 2005, the Spirit of Leadership Award from Cable in 2009, and the Women of Achievement Award from the YWCA in 2005. Let's look at her video.
Women in Tennessee still make 77 cents to a dollar that a man makes in comparable positions. And in the 1970s, about 70% of the families had one parent staying at home. And today we find that there are 70% of everyone working, and 40% of them are single mothers who are the sole breadwinner for the family. So things should have changed at a faster pace, in my opinion, with the salary. What's wrong here? I mean, what's causing that? I think that is the mystery. It's probably a myriad of different things, and I know a lot of studies have been done about it. But I think for a society that says, you know, we love our mothers, we want our wives, our daughters, our granddaughters, we want them to do well, we want to treat them fairly. well then, you know, we watch the movies and TV and we see women portrayed in such a degrading way. So you say, well, why do we do that? Why, if we love women and want women to do well and we want the people we love to be treated fairly, then why do we condone these things? Why do we accept these things? Why don't we actually do the right thing? So I would say that what I want to do is to continue to be involved in these kind of issues and questions and keep them in front of everyone, in front of the public, in front of the decision makers, in front of the policy makers, in front of the legislators, anybody can do anything about it. And let's get that playing field level. Let's treat everyone alike. That would be my dream.
Congratulations, Yvonne.
And last, but certainly not least, it is my pleasure to introduce First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill. First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill is located here in Nashville, where its leaders and members played a critical and pivotal role in the civil rights activities of this city. Today, it continues to serve the entire Nashville community, where its mission statement is to advance the kingdom of our Lord and Savior through preaching, teaching, and equipping members to do creative ministries to serve mankind. During the height of the civil rights movement, First Baptist, under the leadership of Reverend Kelly Miller Smith Sr., provided leadership to the local NAACP, helped file Nashville's school desegregation case of 1955 through 57, founded the Nashville Christian Leadership Council in 1958, and Reverend Smith served as president of the council until 1963. This organization sponsored the nonviolent role in desegregating Nashville's lunch counters, hotels, and theaters. The church also housed the student sit-in movement in 1960 and helped to finance the Freedom Rides in 1961. Reverend Kelly Miller Smith Sr., former assistant dean of Vanderbilt University's Divinity School and founder of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, passed away in 1984. His son, Reverend Kelly Miller Smith Jr., is the current pastor of First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill, and accepts this honor on behalf of the church. We will look at a brief video.
You see the quote that is in the public library here in Nashville of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It demonstrated that Nashville served as a good inspirational moment in terms of how civil rights can be done and should be done. And so Martin Luther King served as an inspiration for the church as well as Nashville, but Nashville and the church served as an inspiration for Martin Luther King as well. It is a congregation that involved many middle class and upper middle class African Americans. So there were attorneys, there were doctors, many persons had been graduates from historically black colleges and universities, and so they had a sense of social awareness, and so it came very naturally for them in positions whereby they could be a voice. And so the membership itself had an understanding of, with my father being there, he was able to articulate it and to galvanize the movement. The church itself, the church building was used as one of the training sites. It was strategically located. Let me go one step further. It was more than just strategically located. It was divinely located at the place that it was. To be divinely located in downtown Nashville, where it became the launching place for those persons who were to lead the demonstration.
Continuing the legacy, I would like to present this award to the First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill, to Reverend Dr. Kelly Miller Smith, Jr. Congratulations. We should have turned it that way. Too late. Okay.